Hello everyone, this is Dikshita Joshi. I have secured rank 58 in this year's Civil Services examination. So now I am going to share my GS3 strategy. I have scored 94 marks in GS3 this year, which is above average considering this year's marks in GS3. So first of all, we'll discuss the resources that are referred to for GS3. For economy, apart from the basic material that we refer to for prelims, the macroeconomics textbook of 11th and 12th and Mrunal sir's lectures, I refer to Niti Aayog's document on India at 75, and through that I prepared topics like infrastructure, like transport, tourism, agriculture, environment. These topics can be prepared through that document as to what we are doing right now, where we stand in these areas, where we want to head to, and what improvements can be done. And apart from this, for economy, I did economic survey of every year since I've been preparing, both volume 1 and volume 2. I prepared notes from that and I've quoted it extensively in my GS3 answers. So if you cannot study both the volumes, at least read volume 1 of economic survey, and especially the first page of each chapter. It contains where we are headed to as an economy and what are our aspirations, and what is the way forward, and suggestions are given in the first paper of each chapter, so that you can refer to. For disaster management, I refer to the National Disaster Management Plan document, and apart from this, prepare some data on disaster management similarly as we do for GS1. Some basic understanding of each disaster. If there is any diagram involved, do that. Other than that, you can always draw India's map and locate the vulnerable areas for each disaster. For disaster management, one thing I can recommend for enriching your introduction and conclusion is, again, various initiatives are started by different states with handling different disasters. For example, Uttarakhand installed a Doppler weather radar last year in Mukteshwar for the warnings for cloudburst. So I think that can be quoted in your answers. I did that. And for internal security, I refer to Ministry of Home Affairs annual report on internal security. They cover and provide where we are, with respect to our security management in various areas: terrorism, Naxalism, coastal security, and I think they also have written about the drugs issue. So these can be taken from that document. And again, for internal security also, different countries are taking different initiatives. For example, this year the question that was related to drugs, I quoted Netherlands was taking an initiative at schools. They were conducting certain aptitude tests for addressing the drugs problem. So I quoted that. So you can do that. And for environment, I again refer to the Niti Aayog document and the economic survey, means 365, and apart from that, the initiatives that are taken by various countries for addressing various disasters, like Netherlands and China are doing very good in managing the urban flooding. So you can quote that for issues that India is facing in urban flooding. Then for science and tech, I refer to only mains 365, and for gaining clarity in certain topics, I refer to the study IQ explanation videos. So this was my GS3 resources. Now for the paper attempting and answer writing in GS3. In GS3, the security and disaster management questions are the low hanging fruits, and these are the questions you need to perform very well, because everybody is performing very well in these answers. So I used to attempt these questions first. Then the economy and environment and science and tech questions, mostly they are little vague, little difficult for almost everyone. So you can attempt these questions later on. Improve and work on your introduction and conclusion. For economy portions, you can always quote the data and documents from current affairs. Like if there is a question on inflation, you can quote the inflation rate that is going on at that time. Then you can always give good conclusions. For example, on a cyber security question in this year's paper, I quoted Subramaniam Swami's quote on cybersecurity, that no country is superpower in 21st century on the basis of its size. every country is a superpower or nothing based on its preparedness to fight cyber warfare. So these things can be quoted in your answers to make them a little heavier. And apart from this, for GS3, I would recommend you to develop your own paper attempting strategy and draw maps in security questions and disaster management questions in GS3 paper. We'll discuss the question on cyber security, that what are the different elements of cyber security, and keeping in view the challenges of cyber security, examine the extent to which India has successfully developed a national cyber security strategy. So first of all, define cyber security and what are the different elements. So what basic first part of this question is that only. So address straight away that what are the different elements of cyber security. There is cyber warfare, there is data breach, there is cyber attack, and then there is this spyware. So all of these elements can be addressed in the elements of cyber security. Then, keeping in view the challenges of cyber security, examine the extent to which. Now what I did was I wrote what India was doing to address cyber security. So we have a national cyber security strategy plan, then we have national cyber security coordinator, then we have the National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, and various initiatives that Indian government has taken to address to improve our cyber security. I mentioned those. Then I wrote the challenges that India is facing in improving its cybersecurity architecture, because it is asking to what extent. So first you tell what initiatives have been taken and then you address the challenges. So I wrote the challenges that India is still facing. On economic front, we are facing issues with the manpower, the skilled workforce for dealing with the cybersecurity challenges. Then we have economic issues, funding. Then we have the political architecture is not, it is still in silos, it is not integrated. Then the need for integrating with international players and important countries to ensure that a cybersecurity architecture is improved. So I wrote these challenges and then I gave a way forward as to what can be done. So I quoted a few committees. Subramaniam committee has given certain recommendations for improving India's cybersecurity. I quoted that committee and a few initiatives. Conclusion, I have already discussed that I wrote Subramaniam Swami's quote in this answer, that no country is a superpower. It is only on the basis of its preparedness to fight cyber warfare in today's time that in any country is a superpower or nothing. That is how I concluded this question. So this was a brief introduction and explanation of how we can approach answers in mains examination GS papers. So for all those who want to further read my strategy and go through my answer copies, test copies, they can refer to my blog. The link will be given somewhere below the video, and so you can go through that blog and that can help you in a much detailed manner. Thank you everyone and all the best.